Come on in. Hey, everybody. Prepper Nurse One here. Welcome, welcome. I hope everybody's doing well. You're going to hold on a second. He's going to slam the door here in a second because he has to, because that's the only way it closes. Hard, hard. There you go. All right. So I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Before we jump into everything, uh, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat, no racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here. All right. So, that being said, all right. So, those of you that hadn't seen the video that I put up earlier today yet, the couple that I bought the property from, unfortunately, the wife passed away yesterday, and so I haven't had a. I went up there a couple times today to go talk to her husband, but obviously he's probably out at the funeral home dealing with all that type of stuff, and so I did not get a chance to see him yet. So I'm hoping I get a chance to talk to him tomorrow. Super, super nice people, salt of the earth type of people. So really kind of sad, very, very unexpected. It wasn't like she'd had like some long illness or anything like that. So there's no, I don't know what happened yet. So, but they had been married, God, I think 40 years. So quite a long time. And unfortunately, what are you going to do? It's part of the cycle of life. It happens, but she definitely will be missed. And so it was kind of weird. It was kind of weird. I just saw her a couple days ago. She was sitting outside on her steps and gave her a wave, and she waved back. And so I mean, you never know. And that we've talked about that. No guarantees of anything. So. Yeah, I'm sure her husband's going to be heartbroken. Like I said, they've been together a very, very long time, and so yeah, you know what? If you're going to go, that's the way to go. Realistically, really quick. That's probably but that's why I always say to people, there's no guarantee of anything. So, but yeah, one thing we all have in common, exactly, we're all on the same journey. That is for sure. So, ah, so I Yeah, separation anxiety. You think after having been with somebody for that length of your life, what, 2/3 of your life? So yeah, I couldn't even imagine. But anyway, want to get into what we wanted to talk about tonight, and the title's kind of what it was. I want to talk about several things, and so I was you know looking at different things today and seeing kind of like what's going on. And here's the question that like we're in this big green phase now, right? So Germany just shut down its last three nuclear power plants. So I definitely want to address that first. Okay, Germany was getting the like propane. The majority of their propane was coming from Russia. Okay, well it's not anymore, right? And and I'm gonna tell you what, I will be 100% honest. I am against nuclear power energy, always have been. I don't give a crap what kind of nonsense they feed you. Oh, it's clean, it's good, it's this and that. When the rods have a half life of 1,000 years when they're disposed of, uh you know that to me is not something that's great. Okay, it's not a good thing. So I think we definitely need to look at alternative sources of power, but they are not ready for that. They don't have enough infrastructure in place to be able to be self-sustaining. This winter, let's be honest, this was not a bad winter that we just had. It was a very, very mild winter. What happens when we have a bad winter? Norway big in oil and gas. Nothing wrong with that. We there's enough oil. We're going to be good for more than 500 years with the oil that's out there. So, it's just if the countries that here's what I'm wondering, and let's look at this from this perspective. Do you think that like Saudi Arabia is going green? Do you think Iraq is going green? Right? Any of these huge oil producing countries, you think they're going green? No, they're not going green. They're never gonna go green. Oil is in so many products that we use or byproducts of oil. It is beyond comparison. People have no idea how much we use oil. Okay, so we need oil. We need to take the gloves off, open up our own oil production, and make it safe, right? And that's the other thing that I think a lot of people don't get either. For there's so many restrictions for the oil companies here when they are doing it to try to keep it as safe as possible. I don't see that as a bad thing. You know, we're all concerned about the environment. I mean, I think we should be. We should have some kind of a relationship with the environment because if we destroy nature, we're not going to be around here very long. I mean, that's just a reality of life. Okay, but the thing that I wonder is this: we just had a huge chemical fire down in Georgia, right? Everybody saw it on the news. They were telling people to shelter in place or to evacuate if they could. And so now they're talking about, being able to go back into their homes and stuff like that. Now, here's a question that I have for that. Isn't that anti friendly to the environment when you have all these chemicals that are burning and all that crap is put into the atmosphere? Or when you have a train derailment and the chemicals are dumped into the waterways, into the soil. Isn't that kind of anti, helping the environment? But oh my gosh, you better watch out for the cow farts, right? Why is there not more safety regulations? Why is there not more checks done? Why is it okay that, and I'm not saying that this was the case, but I heard like with the train derailment up in Maine that it was faulty equipment that was used because they didn't have the right equipment to use, so they used other equipment as like a band aid, and that was why this train derailed, and partly because of the melting ice and all that type of stuff as well. Now, I'm not saying that that's exactly what had happened, but again, should there not be restrictions if you are use or transporting dangerous chemicals? There should be safety protocols. Now, here's the other question that I have with that. Are these all accidents? When you have 18,000 cows blow up, what's up with that? Have you ever heard that happen before? I've never heard that happen before. Now, all of a sudden, we have all these accidents. All these accidents happen. Are they really accidents? Um, could it possibly be? And again, I'm not saying that it is, and I'm not saying that it's not. Could it possibly be sabotage? I mean, you have to really look at the situation when you keep having these incidents happening over and over and over again. Yeah, and how did the cows blow up? That's a great question. I'm sure methane probably had something to do with it, but again, where's the safety protocols? Where are the regulations to make sure? I mean, God, heaven forbid. I mean, so I'm going to give you an example of something. You live in Joe suburbia, wherever, pick an area around the country. You live in suburbia, and the town has all these rules, all kinds of rules. So you decide, you know what? I'm not getting a permit to build a shed in my backyard. It's my backyard. It's my property, right? You feel like it's your property. But what happens is one of your neighbors rats you out that you built a shed in your backyard. They tell the town inspector comes out and says, hey, you didn't get a permit for that. Now you're going to get a fine. Now you're either going to have to take that building down or you're going to have to get the permit. I mean, so they're watching you like a hawk to make sure that you're following whatever rules that they have put into place. But these big businesses, again, guys, it always goes back to big business. How do they get away with using faulty equipment if they are, not having enough staff on there, not having enough people taking care of the things that they do, and then having the government, right, when these guys want to go on strike because they would like to actually have some sick time to be able to take some time off, the government comes in and says, nope, you can't do it, right? How does that work? How does that work? Oh, I did hear some wonderful news today. Listen, you'll love this one. So in Chicago, and I was shocked that this happened in Chicago. Hundreds of youth, hundreds, took to the streets, smashing windows, causing mayhem, causing upheaval, that the police had to be deployed to quell that. How is that even being allowed? Where are the parents? Where's the responsibility? You know, hello, young lady. Where's the responsibility? It's amazing. You know, we have to toe the line. We have all these rules that we have to follow. But these big businesses and all the politicians, I mean, I love it when they go and fly their private jets to these meetings so they can tell us what we need to do for the environment to keep the environment. What? What? You're fine. Um, you know, how was that? Okay, come on, you gotta get down, baby. I had a girl. You know, it's amazing to me. It's amazing and the worst part that's even more amazing to me, where are the people up in arms? Where are the people in the streets going, wait a minute, something ain't right here? Why do these big businesses get huge tax breaks? So these cities want them to come into their city, so they give them tax breaks, so they don't have to pay taxes for years and years and years. But boy, you better pay yours, or if you haven't paid your taxes in 2 years, they're going to sell your house out from under you. I mean, it's insane. It is insane. And at what point, realistically, is enough enough? You know, what when does that happen? What do we got? 348 in the chat, guys. We're at 105 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for that. I really do appreciate it. It really makes a huge difference with the algorithms. So I thank you for that reason as well. The interaction is good. Obviously, you know, here's the funny thing. YouTube is removing comments, right? I mean, people have said to me, I've put this comment up, this comment never showed up. So I didn't remove it. So that means somebody else did. And that would be the company that runs this thing. I got said somebody else today said that they were unsubscribed when they didn't unsubscribe. You know, it's just, you know, that people are not getting notifications. It's just it's been a vicious cycle with these guys here on YouTube. What are you going to do? There's not a thing I can do. I could sit here and scream and yell and complain about it, but nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. But you know, but yet the trolls are out in full force generally, and that's perfectly fine by YouTube standards. And that I don't get either. That I don't get either. You know, heaven forbid I say the wrong thing, they shut me down for a week, right? And then, you know, then I have to wait 3 months for that strike to come off. I don't get me started on that one. I didn't lose 1,000, Free Hawk. What had happened? I'll tell you what happened. Okay, I'll even explain it so you guys get an idea. So I peaked out almost a year ago at 107,352 subscribers. Then what YouTube did? I was unsubscribed. I thought I was kicked out, Sharon. Yeah, see, and it's not me, Sharon. It's not me. Um, so I was at 107,352. That was my peak number. Then all of a sudden, almost a year ago, they start slowly chipping away at it. They brought me down under 107,000 again last year, and then slowly I got back up over 107,000, and I was up to 107,180, something in that range. And then all of a sudden, like in the last 3 weeks, I'm at 106,981 coming into the live stream tonight. So again, it's just like all of a sudden I'll be watching and boom, there goes 4 more. Nothing's happened. I haven't said anything to piss anybody off. You know, no, I never got to 108,000, Angela. No, never hit 108,000. So it's, again, guys, it's games by YouTube. They've been playing them forever. And again, it's not just me. I'm not like, oh, I'm a victim. That's not what I'm saying. This is across the board with YouTube. They're playing games with all kinds of channels. They're and this is what I don't get either. Okay, I really don't get this. We make YouTube money. We make YouTube money. Creators, people that are making videos, we make them money. But yet they're going to sit there and suppress us creators, so that our channels don't grow, that we can't make more revenue, and all those type of things. It's just it's a game. It's absolutely a game. So, but they donated my subscribers to CNN. That's pretty funny. I'm going to tell you what. So we're going to talk about, like, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk about, like the control. They're trying to, and I don't see how people are okay with this. I really don't. They're slowly and steadily dictating what you hear, what you see. That's been going on for a while. I mean, that's absolutely been going on for a while. Um, if you have a different view of whatever events that may have happened with any situation, if it doesn't go along with the narrative, then you're punished. You're shut down. You're silenced. You're shut up. And so, that's how that goes, unfortunately. And it's just like I said, it's a vicious, vicious game. So go live on TikTok, Ed. You can get paid on TikTok. Yeah, well, like I said, I just went over to Rumble. So, videos are going up on Rumble now. I haven't done any exclusive videos yet over there. I absolutely will be. I will be able to talk about things over there that I'm not allowed to talk about here. I have to self censor on this channel, unfortunately, for fear of retribution. And here's the weird part: a lot of the things that were said before, that people, and I'm not just saying me, that people got punished for, lo and behold, came out to be something much more truthful. And I'm not making reference to any certain event or day or any of that type of stuff, but I think that it's really interesting that when people were talking about a different viewpoint of different topics, see, I have to be vague, unfortunately, that down the road, 6 months down the road, lo and behold, those people were right. Imagine that. What a concept, you know. But was there ever an apology by YouTube? Were strikes taken away? Any of that type of stuff? No, of course not. Of course not. Lost revenue. They could care less, folks. They could care less. It's one of those deals. Like, you ever hear this? The old saying is, "Cut off your nose to spite your face." That's what YouTube is doing. Um, you know, the control aspect of our lives, and they're slowly grinding the gears and tightening the screws a little by little. And I think a lot of people don't get it. Um, you know, if we are right, it's still a conspiracy theory. Exactly, exactly. You know, and it comes down to, at some point, at some point, when is enough enough? And that's what, Ed, there are over 51 million YouTube channels. Wow, I didn't realize it was quite that many, but that doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. But all run by AI now, isn't it? I'm not sure if it's all run by AI. I mean, they're looking for keywords, obviously, but you know, when they, I mean, I don't know how they run stuff. I don't know how they do stuff, but you don't go from the channel growing gangbusters to all of a sudden the brakes are on. And it's not a matter of, and I like, well, your content's different, and there's a lot of other people out there, and there's a lot of other people going off grid and doing it now, and they have all the fancy effects and stuff. I'm never going to do the fancy effects. That's not me. That's not who I am. I'm real. I show you what, um, at only 29,000 YouTube channels have over 1 million subscribers. Ah, okay. All right. Um, but that's pretty interesting too. But again, like I said, it's a game. And then they changed up how you could be monetized. I mean, when I first got onto YouTube, you could be monetized right away. So, in the beginning, you would have to build up to got your $100 worth of money earned, and then they would send you, money to your checking account. That's how they did it. So, but anyway, it's just like I said, it's a vicious cycle. I know a lot of people have left YouTube in frustration, and so, but like I said, I feel it's important to keep going. Like I said, I am like now on a different platform as well, and that's going to be worked on as well. So, but there is a lot of control being implemented in place. Look what China has done, folks. I mean, they have a social credit score. What do you think they're trying to do in the United States? If they go with a digital currency, let's look at it like this, okay? They go with a digital currency. So, in other words, um, no more cash exchanges hands, any of that type of stuff. So, if they have a digital currency, they can track every aspect of every purchase that you make. Now, let's say they determine, yeah, you know what? We don't like Prepper Nurse One no more. He's causing dissent. He's causing problems, and they cut you off. They cut you off. Now what are you going to do? You haven't access to your money. You can't spend your money. No one's going to accept anything else. It's all about control, and that's what it comes down to all the time. It's always about control. But and the thing is, will we stand up as Americans and say no? And I mean, right now, what do you got? You got the big put. Look at all the shootings that are happening now. Look at all the shootings. And I'm going to tell you, and I'm not saying, and I'm not trying to do a conspiracy theory saying that these are being done intentionally. I'm not saying that. I have said from day one with these mass shootings, I've had questions about these mass shootings. My questions ranged from what medications were these people that have done these mass shootings, what medications were they on, if any? I didn't say that, yes, I know that they're on antidepressants or I know that they're on this or that, and that's what's causing these mass shootings. Never said that. But it's interesting. If you're taking an antidepressant, what comes along with an antidepressant a lot of times, some of the side effects, which is a fact, is potentially suicidal thoughts. So, you explain that to me. You're supposed to be taking this medication to help you, right? Because life is so tough, and heaven forbid that you actually have to deal with it and process it. We can't do that. We'll give everybody a pill. you know, Good customers. You want lifelong customers. You don't want these people to ever not be on something. You want lifelong customers. That's the goal of big pharma. I've known several people that were like, I've had enough of these antidepressants and I want to get off of them. Well, you can't just stop. You have to wean yourself off over time. And it's crazy. It's crazy. So there's another thing. How do you keep people under control? How do you keep them pacified, right? So you're on medications. You need these medications because the doctor said, well, you got to take this pill, that pill, the other pill, the green pill, the red pill, the orange pill. And so you're taking all these pills. Oh, yeah. And by the way, those pills that you were taking are going to have side effects. So now you have to. I'll give you a great example. Okay. When I had my surgery for when I had cancer, they gave me Oxy. All right. Which I took very, very sparingly because I don't like narcotics. So they gave me Oxy. But along with Oxy, they also gave me a stool softener because one of the side effects of narcotics for pain is constipation. So now I'm taking the painkiller because I was in pain. And the dosage that they told me I could take, I never took anywhere near what they said I could take because I didn't want to have any kind of issues. But the side effect was now I was constipated. Now I had to take another pill, a stool softener, so that I could go to the bathroom. I mean, that's insane. So now, well, yeah, this pill's going to help you with this, but this is a side effect. You ever listen to any of these commercials? I mean, they're all out there on, television. Big Pharma has a big bite of the pie when it comes to the commercials. Listen to what they say. May cause this, may cause that. If you see this side effect, contact your doctor right away, right? But yeah, this is the latest and greatest thing. Go and get it. And people do. People do. Yeah, prune juice, right? Right. Actually, I'll tell you what, the best thing that ever worked, being in nursing all the years that I was in nursing, if I had any of my elderly people were constipated and they told me that they were constipated, I'd give them 30 cc's of milk of mag mixed in with a nice glass of prune juice. Mix them together, say, drink this up, and if you're still having problems, we will deal with it later. And they're like, okay. And guess what? Every single time Not a problem. They were pooping the next day. So it works very, very well. So anybody that's bound up a little bit, try that. 30 cc's milk of mag, mix it in with a nice glass of prune juice and drink it down. And I will tell you what, you will either thank me or curse me at another point in time. Uh, so anyway, let me give you some updates. Yeah, and both, right? Let me give you some updates around here. We did not get the roof completely on the pavilion. We ended up building some more of the roof rafters, and when we have enough people down here for the next get together, we will. Your channel has not evolved since you started. Adapt or die at very simple, really. Ted, it ain't a matter of that. It ain't a matter of that. So, Ted, I want you to explain to me. I want you to explain to me how for 10 years, I changed nothing, right? Didn't need to change anything, and the channel was growing, 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 doing very, very well. And then all of a sudden, one day I go. So I want explain this to me, Ted. How do I go from one day difference? This day here, I put up a video, get 2,000 views in the first hour, averaging 20 to 25,000 views a day. The next day, I'm getting less than 10,000 views a day, right? Now I'm lucky to get 6,000 views a day overall. That's the whole channel. 6,000 views a day. Um, now, you tell me how that's because it's me, it's me, right? I don't think so, Ted. So if they don't want your channel to grow, your channel's not going to grow, and it's as simple as that. And the thing is, I'm sorry that I'm real, that I put it out there. I show the good, the bad, whatever the case may be. And I'm not trying to troll on you at all, Ted. That's not what I'm trying to do. So I don't want you to think that I'm attacking you, because I'm absolutely not. I'm just explaining to you how it works. That's part of the game. Why is it? Why is it that so many of my subscribers have come to me, Ted, and said, I was unsubscribed. I've been unsubscribed 5 or 6 times, and it wasn't me, and I had to come back and resubscribe. Why would that happen? How would was that like a magic? Something magical happened, and they were unsubscribed. So again, there's got to be more to it. So that's just my take on it. So. Speaking of banks, my son got notice that his bank will be closed last week of April and reopening May 2nd. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. See, there's Linda there, said she's been unsubscribed twice. So, how did that happen? I think it's really important, folks, to be very forthcoming. Saying it like it is. Like I said, I piss people off? Yeah, sure I do. People don't like my views on certain things. That's okay. I'm not saying that anybody that follows my channels has to believe everything that I believe. I've never said that. I don't want you to believe everything that I believe. Um, the unsubscribed people all the time had it happen to me several channels. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's just me. I've never said it was just me. So, but I've been unsubscribed 25 plus times. That's crazy, you know. But but yet. So let's talk about this. So the government comes out, uh, you know, with their, you know, the news media putting out whatever the agenda is, and people will blindly follow what they're told. It happens. They blindly follow. They just do as they're told. They don't ask any questions. They don't question anything. Well, I'm going to tell you what. Um, I personally believe that every one of us should question everything. I've said, how many times have I said on this channel? Whatever I tell you guys, right? Whatever I say to you, I'll say, do your own research. Don't just take my word for it. Do your research. Look it up. Follow the trail. Follow the money trail. You follow the money trail a lot of times. A lot of times, if you follow the money trail, it'll take you right to the source. Okay, right to the source. And we can't talk on here. So here's a question that I have: why are we not allowed right? Why are we not allowed to ask why this effect happened to certain people because they took something, right? Now, see, I got to be like, again, I said I have to be very vague. So I'm not saying it's this, that, or the other thing. That's not what I'm saying. But if they took something and they had a negative side effect, and that's normal, right? Could it possibly be because of something that they took? I mean, I'm just, that's a question that I have. You know what I mean? But again, but things are spun around. People are, yeah, well, it's like living in a twilight zone. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what we're living in. There's going to come a breaking point, folks. I'm telling you right now. If this BRICS things goes through with Russia, China, South Africa, Brazil, all that type of stuff, right? If that all goes through, the dollar, once again, and I'll say this a million times, the dollar's backed by nothing, nothing. And if they start buying oil and changing oil on the yuan, the Chinese dollar, we're in big trouble. We're in big trouble. And people haven't got a clue. They haven't got a clue. I mean, when you live in a country that have as many natural disasters that we have in this country in a given year, I would hate to gander the number of how many natural disasters we have. I mean, just let's just look at tornadoes. Let's not even talk about the rest of them. Just tornadoes. How many a year touch down, destroy property, destroy towns, kill people every single year, right? Every single year. And then let's look at all the rest of the disasters that happen every single years. Ice storms, hurricanes, flooding, forest fires, mudslides, power outages, ice storms, blizzards. Every year happens every year. But guess what? Again, and I've thrown this number out to you guys a million and one times, and I'm going to do it again. Okay, 93% of the people in this country are not prepared for a 2 week disaster. A 2 week disaster. In an average year, 800 tornadoes are reported nationwide, resulting in 80 deaths and 1,500 injuries. Thank you, Billy. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. So I want you to think about that. And that's, yeah, that's just tornadoes. But yet, the people in this country don't go, hey, maybe I should do something. Maybe I should prepare a little bit just in case, right? Nope. But then they're going to criticize us, the ones that do, and we're the crazy ones. Oh, nothing's ever going to happen. Happens every year. The majority of preppers, folks, we're not sitting around waiting for the end of the world to happen and oh my God, on this date, you look at the Mayan calendar, right? They said, oh my God, this is going to be the end of the world. It's the end of the cycle, all that stuff. We don't sit around waiting for the end of the world. What we prepare for is whatever may happen. So again, it's one of the reasons why I can't stand shows like Doomsday Preppers or any of that type of stuff, because they want to pigeonhole preppers into why am I getting ready, right? I wonder if somebody had said, well, I live in Tornado Alley, so the reason that I prep is I prep for tornadoes. How do you explain that one away, Nat Geo? How do you explain that one? Well, the possibility that a tornado will come and hit your area is this percent, and so that's why you shouldn't worry about this, and they're only this prepared. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. That's what we should all be doing. I don't have a lot of faith in mankind. I just don't. I really don't. Viking Prepper says Atlas bunkers. I've heard, and I love your rants. Well, I get so frustrated. I really, really do, because people are just so clueless and they don't care. They would rather sit around and do nothing. And then when something happens, they piss and moan and complain and cry, oh, I'm the victim, right? And then, oh, wait a minute. The power's back on. Hold on. I got to go turn my TV back on. And and then they do nothing to prepare for the next disaster because it's coming. And heaven forbid, folks, I mean, let's be realistic here. Heaven forbid that we really truly have a major event, because it's not a matter of if. I want you to remember this, okay? It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Something will happen at some point. Be it another meteor comes out of space and destroys a part of the world and affects the rest of us. A volcano, major one of these major volcanoes going. All right, volcanoes. If I could speak English, it would be very very helpful. Um, if one of these, if Yellowstone goes, see what I think people don't understand. If one of these major super volcanoes go, like Yellowstone, we'll use Yellowstone as an example. Well, that's just going to affect the United States. No, it's not. No, it's not. Um, will Yellowstone supervolcano go off again? Yes, it will. When? I don't know. You know, I don't know. But I will tell you this: when it goes off, it is a world changing event that will put so much stuff, material, into the upper atmosphere that it will block out the sun and put us into what they like to call a volcanic winter that could last for several years. And I want you to think about this. Let's think about how bad winter sucks when winter's here. Well, we'll go with New York for 6 months out of the year. How bad that sucks for that, okay? Could you imagine having nothing but winter for, oh, let's say 5 years? Who's ready for that? How many of you out there have 5 years or better of food stashed away and ready to go? Hmm? Think about it. I mean, think about it. It doesn't have to be Yellowstone. It could be any of the other super volcanoes around the world. It will affect everybody. Toba was the last super volcano that went off, and I think they said that was 86,000 years ago. And they said that when Toba went off, the world population back then, 86,000 years ago, went down to about 10,000 people. The world population, because of what happened. Now, we would probably be in much better shape now, because there are so many underground bunkers, and there's a lot of people that are very, very supplied and prepared. The governments of the different governments of the world, they will definitely will save their, brightest and best. Do you think you or me is on a list where, oh, hold on, I just got an alert. We're having this world disaster happening, and I have to go to the bunker because I'm on that list? I ain't on that list. You're not on that list. Okay. They're going to take the brightest, the best, the richest, the most powerful people, and they're going to go to ground, and they'll stay there as long as they need to. And good luck to the rest of us. And I want you to think about that. So to me, being prepared, putting myself in a position to, well, hopefully weather whatever comes. Now, I would hope that it would not be, a super major thing like that, like a Yellowstone or a super volcano event. But folks, there's a lot of things out there that can go wrong. A lot of things that can go sideways in a hurry. Governments don't last forever. Why do you think? And let's talk about this for a second. How many of you out here watching tonight have heard of the seed vault, over in Greenland? I think it's in Greenland. If it's not in Greenland, somebody tell me the right place that it's at. It could be Iceland or something. There's a seed vault, over there. So who's heard of the seed vault? Give you guys a minute. It is in Greenland. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I was right. Okay. I wanted to Iceland seed vault. So people are saying Greenland and Iceland. Okay. Well, there's the seed vault over there, all right, where they've taken all the seeds from the different plants around the world and sent them to the seed vault. Now, here's a question for you. I have a question for you, and I want to know if you have the answer, because I have the answer, and I know who paid. for the shipping of all the seeds from around the world to be sent to the seed vault. Do you guys know who that was that sent all those seeds, paid for all the shipping of the seeds being sent to the seed vault? And no, it was not the United States of America. Ah, there we go. We have a winner. Bill Gates. That's correct. Isn't that interesting? What does Bill Gates know that we don't know? I wonder. Isn't that interesting? You know, think about that. They have all these seeds from every plant sitting in that seed vault, waiting for what? Why do they do it? So don't worry. You don't have to worry about anything. They'll take care of you. They'll take care of you. You don't have to worry. You know that, right? Just rely on your government. You're safe. You know. You have a question? Okay. What is your question? You just said three times I have a question. I'm waiting with bated breath. In regards to Antarctica. Okay. Spit it out, please. I only have, another 500 people on here watching. I'm not being a jerk. I'm just, let's go. What is your question? Uh, what do you think is hidden? Okay. So Antarctica. We talk about Antarctica for a second. A lot of questions about Antarctica. A lot of interesting stuff going on down there. I mean, I've heard everything, and like I said, I'm not saying that this is what it is, that's what it is, whatever the case may be. But they've done deep core samples of Antarctica. And at one time, Antarctica was very warm, and it had, you know, it's proven with those soil samples when they dig down, and they can tell when different things happened. And you're talking about miles deep of ice on it now because it was a beautiful place to live at one point in time, right? There, it's funny. They said Antarctica wasn't discovered until what, the 1800s, but there are 1,500-year-old maps that have a very detailed map of what Antarctica used to look like. So that came from somewhere. All right. I do believe that Antarctica was populated by people, maybe an advanced civilization. Could it have been? I'm not saying that it was Atlantis. I don't believe that that was the case, but I do believe that there was definitely people down there. When the weather changed for the worst, like anybody would do, they got out of there. The ones that survived. They're seeing things now, coming to fruition where they're showing that possibility of pyramids down in Antarctica because things are, melting down there and stuff like that. So again, let's go back to that a second, right? If the planet at one time was so warm that Antarctica was lush and green and had all kinds of animals and all that type of thing, which they basically have proven that it has at one point in time. And who knows what's there now, because there's speculation, and I'm going to put it like that because I'm not going to say that yes, it's this or yes, it's that. There's speculation, and and I saw this, and this was actually a really good conspiracy theory. I like this one a lot, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But there's speculation that there's alien bases down there. Could that possibly be so? It could be. Are there underground alien bases in the oceans? Let's put it like this: we have a better understanding of what's on the moon than we do at the bottom of our oceans. So there's parts of the oceans that have not been mapped out. They don't know what's there. They don't know how deep it is. The Mariana Trench comes to mind. They have no idea how deep that is. Okay, so when you look at that type of stuff, it opens up a whole can of worms of what if, could be, maybe, possibility, right? There's been talk that the Nazis were working with the aliens in Antarctica and that the Nazis had bases there as well. I don't know if that's true or not. Not going to say that it was, not going to say that it wasn't, okay? Because we don't know, all right? I do know this that when you had Bird go down there. Admiral Byrd did his research. A lot of that research that was done in that area was very, very hush hush, not talked about, those type of things. The bases that are down there now mostly are military bases down in Antarctica. A lot of research is being done, but a lot of information is being done and things are being checked on that we're never going to hear about. We're never going to know. So, could there be something going on in Antarctica? I would think definitely yes. I believe that there's a possibility that something is going on down there. Are we ever going to get all the information? Folks, we don't get all the information from what's going on in our own country, let alone Antarctica. So we're never going to know that information. Okay. We're never going to get that information, you know. Yeah, Admiral Byrd, all that information that he got was not allowed to be talked about, um, and all those type of things. So, but yeah, it's you know, do I believe personally that there is other intelligent life out there? Yes, I do. I have seen things that can't be explained, can't be explained away. You're welcome. Um, I've seen a lot of things that you just don't know. You just don't know. More questions than answers, unfortunately. More questions than answers. All right, let's go ahead and do egg count. So, how many eggs today, folks, for the chickens? And yes or no for Miss Thickneck. And we will go from there. So, I'll let you get your guesses up. And yeah, too late, JJ. I'm on it tonight. All right, give you guys a minute. You can see here the rain. Yeah. All right, if you had the same guess, is Dave 4096. Dave 4096 with 6 eggs today. And yes for Miss Thickneck, then you are 100% correct. So congratulations, Dave. Oh, actually, freaking see, I didn't talk about it in the beginning of the stream. Sundays, what I'm doing is I'm giving away this book. So RE Gold, and this is the Pocket Guide to Finding Silver. So Dave, 4096, need to shoot me an email. Give me your address, and I will get this out to you. You are one of the winners of this book. Okay, so congratulations. RE Gold actually has signed these books, so you get a signed copy of that, and I think that's a really cool thing to have. And again, thank you for RE Gold for donating these to be able to do a giveaway with them. So thank you very much for that. And so congrats. Yeah, so Dave, so shoot me that email, Dave. Preppernurse1 at yahoo.com. All right. Yeah, JJ just threw that up there. So hey, no problem, Ari Gold. I'm sorry that I keep forgetting to talk about it in the beginning of these streams on Sunday. I get a lot of other things on my mind. And um, I want to talk to you guys. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about this right now. So when we got together, what we do is when we do our get-togethers, we will sit down and we will do a meeting and we'll talk about priorities moving forward. Okay, and what the game plan is. All right, and so what we are working on and what we're looking at doing right now, the pavilion is the priority. The bunker is the bunker. That's going to be a work in progress for a while. I had an awesome comment today. I laughed so hard. I actually did. I thought it was kind of funny. They said, "Hey, can we check back in 5 years and see how many 2 more inches of depth you got in the bunker?" I thought that was kind of funny, and I laughed at them. I said, "Yeah, that's very funny." But but yeah, it's what, like I said again, my thing is this: keep laughing, keep making fun of it, and we'll see what happens. That's all. But anyway, um so we were sitting down, we did a meeting, we talked about priorities. So once the bunker is not the bunker, I'm sorry, the pavilion is done. Once we have the pavilion done, the next priority is going to be getting a greenhouse up. Okay. We already got a cost figure of what that's going to cost us. 20-foot long, 12-foot wide greenhouse will be the first of many. Will be the first of many. And if I get the opportunity to get your location permanently, I would love to join your group. Prep Rebel, shoot me. Do you have my phone number already? If you haven't given me your, well, do this again. We'll make it real simple. Shoot me an email. Give me your phone number. I will give you a call and we will talk, Prep Rebel. Okay? Because I know that you're in Tennessee, I believe. So yes, so do that and we will talk. Okay. So we're going to start out getting one greenhouse in right away. Now, in that greenhouse, I would like to do raised beds in that greenhouse. Again, this is not something that's going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. We're going to have to do what we got to do to facilitate it and build it. If you guys remember up in New York, the 9 raised beds that I built in New York, with the last 3 by myself, uh, it cost me, I think it was $6,000 then to build those. So it is not something that's cheap, okay? But it's definitely, I like the raised beds. You can control the soil, you can control the environment with the greenhouse. You have a better control of the environment and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to be doing for that. So once we get the first greenhouse in, it's going to be a work in progress, okay? Um, the second thing, what we're talking about is this year, okay, this year, getting in fruit trees. And we have a way to get uh, fruit trees at a decent price. We're going to work on that. Blueberry bushes or something else that we want to get in. So a lot of the sloping areas of the hills, on the back side of the upper meadow, on this side over here, going up out of the lower meadow, where the hills are going like this, you're not building a whole lot there. Okay, so that's going to be a good sun area that we can get a lot of fruit trees, blueberry bushes. We're going to be getting more raspberry bushes, and there's wild raspberry bushes around here that we can transplant down more on the property as well. So we're going to be doing those type of things as well. Tomorrow, if the weather holds off, we're going to be putting in. I showed you today. We have the tomatoes and stuff like that. We're going to be putting in a small garden area. All right, nothing major, as far as that goes. But we're going to get that. Yeah, the grapes. I got to see. With the grapes, I got to make sure I put fencing up around that so the freaking deer don't eat them this year. So that's going to be another project that's coming up with that. I'm going to be doing composting bins. We're going to be working on that this week as well. So there's a lot of so here's what with the road being, it's not done by any stretch of the imagination, but functionable. That's what the road is now. It's functionable. Now there's stretches of the road that are in really great shape. Okay, really good shape now. So that definitely makes things better. I can steer my attention to other things, and that's what we're going to be doing. And the bees are going to be coming in as well. Okay, I just got a message. I think the bees will be in. I think it's the 24th. I can give me just 1 second, and I will tell you exactly when the bees are going to be in. Look at my calendar here. 24th. 24th, the bees will be here. So once the bees are in, I got to get that set up. So in the meantime, before then, this week, I got to go buy electric fencing. We've talked about that as a group too. We need to get the electric fencing set up, and then that's off of solar. And so there is a million and one smaller projects that we're going to be doing. When we get together next month, we're going to be back really focusing on the getting the roof on the pavilion. The more that we can get squared away with that, the better off we're going to be. Again, folks, these things, I mean, if you watch the video that I put up the other day showing us how we were putting up the roof rafters, I mean, you need to have, 4 or 5 people. Realistically, you have people holding the ladder so that the ladders don't come out from underneath of you. You got one guy on one end where I was on one end and Ronnie was on the other end, and then we're measuring, and we got guys passing back the nail gun, the tape measure, so we get an accurate placement of where every 16 inches is where we're putting one of those roof rafters. It's a process. It's, again, things don't happen overnight. We don't have a crane. That would make things a lot easier, wouldn't it? Now, right? Having a tractor would be make things a whole lot easier. So yes, I will keep the honey raw, Sean. Yes, when we start collecting honey, I probably will not be collecting any honey this year. I got to see. I got. I actually, I'm 100% honest. I got a ton of research that I still need to do um, on the bees. Once I have the bees here, it's a learning curve, and I want to make sure that they thrive, that they do okay, that there's not an issue, and stuff like that. Definitely, awesome sauce. She said meat at some point. Yes, I would love to make meat. I think that that would be awesome. And so, how much more Viking can you get than having meat, right? Have your own bees and the honey, and then make meat. I think that would be awesome. So, um, but yeah, like I said, there is we're going to be working on things. Now, are we going to have huge gardens in this year? Probably not. Probably not. We're not going to have the time, the money to get that all set up, to get all those things going. But we can continue to work on things, do what we need to do, and that's what we're going to do. It's as simple as that. It's just going to take time. Everything takes time, unfortunately. Time and money, right? So, as we continue to move on, yeah, the only stupid question is the one that's not asked. So there's no stupid questions. Um, I, you know, I get frustrated when I answer the same questions over and over. I should actually do a video, common questions and answers. I should do, but people wouldn't watch it. They wouldn't watch it, and they'll keep coming in and asking the same questions over and over, and it's okay. Again, I think that you know that's how we learn, and I don't have a problem with that. I don't. Guys, I'm not perfect. Don't claim to be perfect. I don't think I'm a know-it-all. I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. Um, you know, with what we're doing here. Um, I wanted to show you guys something. Hold on a second. Where did I put that? Is that inside here? Oh yeah, here it is. So I got to show you guys this PN1 1 year anniversary. This was every member of the group. The ones that aren't here will definitely get one. The lid for that. Here's the lid for that. So you put that on there. Keep your drink cold. Keep it warm. It's by Yeti. Really, really good product. And so uh, they we had that made up, and it's the 1 year anniversary. So Dave was the facilitator of that. So big shout out goes to Dave. So every member of my group is getting one of these, and so that's what we just did for this. This month was our 1 year. 1 year ago today, or not today, but this month. 1 year ago this month. That's easier to say that way. Uh, we had our first get together, and realistically, the cool thing with that is look what we've done, look how it's grown, and what it's turned into. And I definitely, we're always looking to add more members to the group. If you are interested, again, the best way to do it, shoot me an email uh, at preppernurse1@yahoo.com. Give me your phone number. I will call you. I will let you know what the expectations are. And then if you're still interested, then we go from there. And I will walk through all that. I'm not going to go through everything on here. But we, it's pretty awesome. And I got to tell you what, like I said, again, I know I keep saying it over and over again. You're probably like a broken record. I have a great group of people here. We have the same vision of what we want to do, what we want to get accomplished. We're working on things together. We're trying to prioritize what needs to be done. And so somebody had said, "Oh, well, that pavilion won't be functional until September." So let's go with that. Let's go with September. So what? Who gives a crap? Once we get the roof on it, right? If it's raining, we can get out of the rain. Once we get the floor on there, then then we can be off the ground and out of the mud. And so it is it's a process. We're working on it. We're getting it done. It's taking some time. Yep. We're trying to figure things out. Yep. It's how it goes. But we'll get it done. And even if it's not going to take to September. I'm going to tell you that right now. The pavilion will be done before September, but we're going to get that squared away, get that done, and it's going to be awesome. And you know what? It's like we will have the satisfaction as a group of knowing, between sweat equity and everything else, that we did this together and we got this awesome place. Hey, Alfredo, thank you very much, for the donation. I do appreciate that. So, you know, that we came together, we got this done. And that's just one project, and there's a lot more that's going to be happening, and there's going to be a lot more that has to be done. But yeah, building from scratch is not easy as people think. Right? No, Angela, it's not. And when you're out in the middle of nowhere, pretty much realistically, and the trip to Lowe's or Home Depot, wherever you need to go, it's not around the corner. It's not a 5-minute drive. So, you if you got to go to Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever the case may be, you figure out, okay, what do we need to get? And we try to make it one trip and go and get what we need to do. And, do you need to take the trailer or not? Like Dave needed to borrow my trailer. So he took my trailer and stuff like that, and it takes money too, Don Hill. Exactly. Yeah, all these things, everything costs money. The freaking money tree did not do well. I'm very disappointed in the money tree. It did not do well at all. So, all right, we got to do shout outs. Again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, guys, I'm going to ask you to please do that to show support for the channel. And I want to thank you ahead of time for that. I do appreciate that. Again, it really makes a huge difference with the algorithms as well. So the more interaction we have, the better it is for the channel. Let's fight YouTube. I'd like to see the channel continue to grow and do better. It's going to do what it's going to do, but I'm not going anywhere. I want to put information out here. I want to show you guys that this is possible. You see, here's what I would love this to be. I would love this to be a model where people say, "Holy crap! These people came together and they got this done. We can do it too." All right. Old Mutt is a good example. He told me he's been part of many groups, and he said some make it and some don't. And the one thing that he told me, and I took it as a huge compliment because he's like 75. He's been around the block. He knows what he's talking about. He says, "I'm going to tell you what, man." He says, because I've talked to him several times on the phone. He said, "Not only do you talk the talk," he goes, "but you walk the walk." And I think if you're going to do something, you lead by example. And people want to be critical of the fact that I'm out in the middle of the woods and I'm living in a camper. I could give a crap less. They're going to think what they're going to think. Live in your creature comforts and enjoy yourself as long as you possibly can, because when the lights go out and they're not coming back on, guess who's going to be ready and guess who's not going to be ready. So that's the kind of the way that I look at it. All right, so time for shout outs. Now, will I ever be as ready as I want to be? Never. To be as ready as I want to be, what does that look like? Before we'll do shout outs in just a second, I want to talk about this a second. What is me being as ready as I want to be? Hold on. Hey, stealth mode. Thank you for showing the process as a model. Agreed. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and thank you very much for the donation as well. What would I be comfortable with? Huge battery bank, lots more solar, 10 years of food, all stored underground for probably 100 to 150 people. Think about that process, okay? An underground network that was extensive, um, garden beds all over, animals that we would have, uh, more acreage, have buying more of the property around us as well. Having a decent sized group, and when I say a decent sized group, 100 families. And you probably think that's insane, but realistically, I don't think that it is. I don't think that it is. And I think that given enough time, People coming together, working together, it can happen. I think it can happen. You know, trying to be as self-sufficient as we could be, growing our own crops, you know, producing our own fuel, be it you know, methane, be it you know, like a biodiesel or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of options out there that you can do. A gasifier. I'd love to have a vehicle that we just use as a gasifier. Think about that. Wouldn't that be awesome? You know, so there's a lot to what it would look like for me to go, yeah, we're ready. I don't think that that is obtainable, you know, at this point in time. Hello again. Yes, nice to see you. All right, sorry. Let's do shout outs because I'll just keep talking otherwise. Icky Can up in Canada, real good guy. I would ask you to support him. There is Angry Prepper, and that is Jason, and he is down in New York City. There is Alaska Prepper, and that's Rudy up in Alaska. You have Alaska Granny. There is Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. Same guy, two different channels. Building a homestead up in Canada, showing you how it's done. He is awesome. So I definitely recommend you watching him. You have Demcad. There is Corporal's Corner, Bjorn Hansen, 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. You have Bizariza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles, a really interesting story. So definitely check that out as well. There is Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast in Seattle. There is Magic Prepper in North Dakota. You have Wrangle Star, and that's Cody. Real good guy. A lot of great information on his channel. The Red Poppy Ranch. There is Survival Lily. You have Kyle's Cabin. Kyle and Sierra doing their thing up in Minnesota. Nice young couple. So definitely cool there. Uh, Let's see. There is Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband and wife team, two different channels. They split their time between Michigan and Alaska. Nice couple. Let's see. Where was I? Okay, Green Greg's. A lot of good gardening information. Guy, again, so let me just reiterate this real quick. Get the gardening down. Learn how to garden, even on a small scale. It's a smart thing to do. Okay. You have Southern Prepper One. He does his Boots on the Ground series. He has been prepping up like crazy. If you guys have been paying attention, go watch what he's talking about. There is Gray Man Prepping. You have St. Bernard Acres with Joe. There is Doug and Stacy. They've been around a long time. A lot of good information on their channel. The Nomadic Movement, which is down in Panama. You have the Green Dream Project, which is out in Arizona. A nice couple out there living in the desert. Camping with Steve Wallace. Does a lot of stealth camping, a lot of good information there for stealthing, being stealthful when you're camping. Bush Doctor Survival. There's Monkey Works. You have the Needy Homesteader. She's been around a long time. A lot of good stuff on her channel. Boss of the Swamp. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Real good guy, very, very highly intelligent. Definitely should be paying attention to him. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. There is City Prepper, Lumina Acres. You have Suspicious Observer. There's Bear Independent, the Uneducated Economist. You have Bushcraft Bear. He is in the Canary Islands of La Palma. There is Mary Greeley News. She gives you all the latest information of Yellowstone, all the earthquakes and everything that's going on with that. There is Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. There's Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy to get your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall, y'all. Ryan Hall, great channel, good guy, good weatherman, but he gives back to the community in a huge, huge way, which I think is amazing. You have Russell Brand. Russell Brand gives you the information. He lets you decide what you want to believe or not believe, and I like that. Just give me the information. Let me make my own judgment. I like that about him. Deep South Homestead. You have The Outsider. There is The Fit Farmer. There is Prep Rebel. You have Simple Life Reclaimed. There is Townsend's. You have The Prepared Mind. There's Pinball Preparedness, who is in Tennessee. There's East Tennessee Preparedness. You have The Economic Ninja. And last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. They are also in Tennessee. A lot of good information out there, a lot of good channels. We definitely should be supporting each other. We are a small niche group on YouTube, prepping and living off grid and doing that type of thing. So I think we should be supporting each other. That's just my take on it. So Um, Go check those channels out. Tell them Prepper Nurse One sent you. Again, some of them don't know who I am at all, and that's okay. That's not. It's not about I'm doing it because I expect something from them. I'm doing it because I think these channels are good channels. There's good information out there, so that's why I like that. I'm sure a lot of you guys in the chat put other channels that you enjoy as well, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. So again, no, gardening. Gardening's important. Knowing how to garden, what to do, what to grow, how to grow it, and those type of stuff. That is really, really important. There is a learning curve when it comes to gardening. Not putting all your eggs in one basket. Figuring out where do I plant, what do I plant, how do I plant it? What plants go together, what plants don't go together. You have the three sisters, right? You can go squash, peas, and corn. You can plant them together because the peas will climb up the corn stalk, and the ground cover is covered by the squash. It works out really good. They call them the three sisters, and they grow good together. There are other plants that you don't grow together. It's just like when you're storing your food that you've gotten. Certain foods, because of off gassing, you don't want to have around other foods because it will destroy or break them down quicker. So do your research, do your homework, you know figure out what you can grow, what you and again, Don Hill says plant only what you eat. Yeah. If you don't like eggplant, I would not suggest growing eggplant. Simple as that. If you like cucumbers are a great crop. They grow really, really well. um, snap peas. I like peas. So, I mean, I'll sit in a garden and I'll just start eating peas because I love peas. I think peas are awesome. So, and the reason I said eggplant is because I don't like eggplant either. That's why I used eggplant as an example. Not a fan. So, but again, when you're prepping, and I've said this before too, people say, "Oh my God, you got raviolis, you got spaghettios." Well, guess what, folks? I like raviolis. I like spaghettios. So that's one of the things that I prep and I store them up because I enjoy them. Now, is that going to be my main meal? No. So can you grow grapes next to few trees? You want to have your grapes in a free area where there's not trees because you don't want them shaded. You want them to be able to get the sunshine and stuff. So all right, guys. So let's do this. We are legion. We are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? We have Melbourne, Australia, with Philip in the house. Hello, Philip. Franklin County, Ohio. We have New Mexico with Nate. Dayton, Ohio, with Rhonda. Beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds with Pennsylvania Granny. We have. I, I got to go back here a second because I saw my boy and I got to say hi to him. And it just went by so fast. Hold on a second. There he is. Clyde from Inverness, Florida. How you doing, Clyde? Please say hi to your lovely wife for me. We have Ulster Park, New York with Francine. Waterloo, New York with Sharon. Mission for Truth down in Georgia. Robert in Central Iowa. Troy in Pipestem, West Virginia. We have Tucson, Arizona with Angela. St. Augustine, Florida with Stealth Mode. Emile in BC, Canada. Okie Forge in Nowhere, Oklahoma. Dave in Ontario, Canada. We have North Texas, Illinois with Beth. R.E. Gold in North Carolina. Fort Worth, Texas with Sonia. Awesome Sauce up in Connecticut. Joan in Leesburg, Florida. Village Homestead in Central New York. North Carolina. We have Morning Light in West Virginia. Southwest Ohio with Mikey. The UP of Michigan with Dawn. Southwest Ohio with Barbara. Troutman, North Carolina with Troy. Things got away from me. Hold on a second. Missouri and the Ozarks with Delbert. Janet with up in BC, Canada. Alfredo in El Paso, Texas. Dust Devil down in Texas as well. We have Verone, BC, Canada with Gypsy Mama Prepper. Cape Cod, Massachusetts. We have Greenlee County, Arizona. West Central of Florida with Kit. We got David from Nebraska. Newfoundland, Bay of Islands, Finleyville, Pennsylvania with Susie, Western New York with Karen, South Carolina. We have Vancouver Island, Points North, Prep Rebel. Let's see, Freetown, Indiana, Lynchburg, Florida with Joan West, South Central Virginia with Wendy, West Central Ohio with Dale, Western Michigan with Jean. Let's see, Pam Sloan up in Northeast Pennsylvania, Daniel in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Been there, beautiful, beautiful city. Been around a lot, been seen a lot of stuff, which is pretty cool. So anyway, guys, we are all over the world. We're all over the country. We're a huge, huge network of people. We're a huge family. If we can come together, work together, there is nothing that can stop us. We're the ones that are awake. There's a lot of them out there that are not awake. We all know that. We've talked to people till we are blue in the face and they look at us like we have three heads. And we can't understand why they don't wake up, right? But I think that it's important that we try to do the best that we possibly can, try to help people as much as we possibly can. I'm going to tell you right now, as my ex wife would always say to me about Baywatch with David Hasselhoff, you can't save them all, okay? You're not saving everybody. You can't save everybody. You can't try to help people to a detriment to you and your group. You can't do it. So you're going to have to make hard decisions. Who do you help? Who do you not help? Because here's the other thing that I will tell you, and I guarantee you this. Once you help somebody one time and they go off, they're coming back and they're bringing friends and they all want help, okay? Or either that or they may try to come back and take what you have. It's unfortunate, it's a reality. So you're going to have to make a decision of who to help, why you're helping them, and those type of stuff. Um, and that's just the way it is, unfortunately. We got John in central Wisconsin. So just, that's, you got to think about that. I know, I think it's important that we try to educate people, teach people how to help themselves. Maybe we say, yeah, I don't have a lot of food. I can't help you as far as food go, even if you have food, but maybe you can teach them something about, how to purify water and what they need to do. Give them some tips that may help them survive. Um, but again, if let's be realistically, we're 6 months into SHTF and somebody comes rolling along and they're like asking for help and they're begging for help, right? And they're dead anyway. You know that even if you help them, they're not going to survive. Why would you waste that food? I mean, that's a cruel, horrible way of looking at it, but that's reality, folks. That's reality. What do you think? Huh? What, baby? Give me a kiss. Hey, hey, hey. You want to go out? Give me a minute. We're almost done. Then you'll go outside. So anyway, guys, um, stop. I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic. Hella, no. Um, thank my moderators who do actually awesome job keeping the chat clean. I do appreciate you guys. Means a lot to me what you do. I want to thank you all for being here as well, supporting the channel because it really helps, and I do appreciate that as well. Um, remember, folks, we truly are all in this together. The more people we can wake up, the more people that we can get prepping, it's less victims out there. And I think that that's important. So I think as human beings, if we could ever come together, work together, we could accomplish so much. It would be amazing. It really would be. Also, remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really, really important that you tell the people that you care about every single day how you feel. Again, a great example. My neighbor passed away yesterday, out of the blue, boom, gone. Okay, so shocking. Didn't expect that at all, and but that's life, unfortunately. So also, guys, remember, last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that is going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it. Nobody else. Stay positive. Stay away from the negativity. Stay stay away from negative people, and you're going to be in so much better shape. I'm going to tell you, trolls get to me once in a while. I'll be honest with you, and I take as much as I can take, and then I flip out a little bit. I'm trying to put myself in a better mindset dealing with them and just ignoring them because they suck. Okay, realistically, I mean they waste so much time; it's unbelievable. So I have to just realize that, and I'm working on it. I promise. But you know, the majority of you out here that watch the channel, you guys are awesome, and I do appreciate that. So um, anyway, guys, have a great night. Continue to prep. Continue to get ready. Don't get despondent. Yeah, consider the source. Exactly. That's exactly it, Angela. And you're right. Um, and you know what the best part? The best part is about the trolls. Realistically, folks, those a holes are never making it when SHTF happens because there's nobody for them to bully. And if they try to bully people in a true SHDF situation, someone's going to put one right there, and that'll be the end of it. So, anyway, guys, have a great night. I will see you later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.